What do you do when you're trucking along with your partner and everything's fantastic and you're thinking about getting married and you love everything about them and you can live with these other things which aren't so minor, and all of a sudden you smack face first right into a big wall of something that you absolutely cannot live with? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Alex Blassingame. Welcome to my video on deal breakers. We all have things that we will and we will not tolerate about life in general. And why would it be any different when it comes to the man or woman that you're thinking about getting married to? Well, today we're going to talk about what happens when you hit one of these road bumps and the strategies that you can take to see if you can get around them. Now, unless you and your partner were both born and raised on the same stalk of corn and the same farm in the same county in the same state and the same place in the world, you are probably going to find something that you disagree about. And it's just possible that one of these things is going to be a deal breaker. Before we get started on that, do me a quick favor, click that like button, push the subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know when I add a new video to my playlist, and it'll help me out too. I really appreciate it. Honestly, this might not even be something about the person that you're with. This could just be something in general in life that you won't tolerate. Like, I won't tolerate being married to a Democrat. Just won't do it, whatever it is. So what do you do when you run into one of these roadblocks on the path to marriage? Well, I got a pretty simple 3-step method for dealing with these deal breakers. Step 1, confess. Tell the other person what your problem is, what this big deal breaker is. Be non-confrontational, be non-judgmental, but be honest. Say, I just can't live with X, or I need X to be a certain way. Once you've done that, that might solve your problem right there, because they might just say, oh, I agree with that, or oh, I can live with that, or whatever it happens to be, and then you just move on. If that's not the case, step 2 is drill down. Try to dig into the subject and figure out if you can find a path around this obstacle. Maybe it's not such a big deal after all. In step 3, you need to make a decision. You either need to decide, based on your drill down or this other person's response, whether you can or cannot live with their response. Let's work through a couple examples. Example number 1. You want to get married. You want the other person to change their last name to match yours. You tell them this. This is a deal breaker for you. You confess. Now they could say, sure, that's no problem. Let's say they say, well, I don't want to change my last name. Whoa. You just broke my deal breaker. I can't live with that. That's no good. I quit. I'm out. Get out of the house. No. We're going to drill down. Well, why? Why is it you can't change your name? Well, maybe they can't change it because they're known professionally under this name. It's an important thing for them to have. It's important for their career advancement, which would be your career advancement once you get married because you're a team. Maybe they won't change their name right away, but they could change their name sometime in the future. If you have kids, will she let the kids have your name, or will he let the kids have your name? Whose name will the kids have? Talk about all these things. Decide whether you can live with what they're telling you. Decide if this is really a deal breaker, or now you have greater understanding and you can live with what it is they're telling you. Let's talk about kids. Kids is a big deal breaker nowadays. You want to have kids. The other person doesn't want to have kids. Boom. That's a deal breaker right there. You're going to spend the rest of your life with this person, but they don't want to have kids. We've already talked about how you need to assume that you can't change them. So let's just assume that they never going to want to have kids. Well, you need to confess this problem, right? I want to have kids. You don't want to have kids. Oh, okay. Why don't you want to have kids? Oh, well, I came from a broken home and I just don't want to put kids through that. Maybe they're not able to have children. Maybe they're afraid of pregnancy. Maybe they saw some bad thing. Maybe they saw Alien and it freaked them out. Who knows what the problem is? Maybe they think you want to have 10 kids and you just want to have 2. Maybe they can adopt. Maybe that would be okay with you. You could talk about these things. Talk it through. Drill down into these questions and then make a decision. Decide if you can live with their response. So once again, This entire process comes down to communication and decision making. You're going to have to actually make a decision. But once you hit one of these deal breakers, don't just throw in the towel. This is the person that you're considering spending eternity for you with. Don't just discard them so immediately. This might also be an interesting time to think about your ethics, think about your morals, think about what is important to you. If you declare, well, this name thing or this kid thing or this way we're going to live or what your job's going to be, you got to stop working or whatever it is, that seems important to you right now. Are you just parroting that because that's what your parents did? Is that what you saw on TV? Is that really important to you? I mean, are you willing to walk away from this person for this thing? And it could be, maybe it's just intolerable. Maybe you found out something about this person that you'll never live with because you can't change them. We talked about that. So you're going to have to decide. Don't just throw in the towel. This person is valuable. They're obviously important to you. Be honest with them. Give the tender, loving consideration that they deserve and work this out together. Let me know about your deal breaker process. Let me know the route that you've taken to solve some of these deal breakers, and hopefully that it worked out for you. I'd love to hear positive things. And if you find reasons why it would never work out for you being married with these deal breakers, then that's probably positive too. You saved yourself a whole bunch of heartache in the future, and that's what we're trying to figure out here. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, visit my website alexblassinggame.com. Thanks for watching today. There will be more. It all just goes from my brain out my mouth and then it's deleted. It's like deleted as it comes out.
Yeah.
It's like clearing the buffer. Am I more animated?
Mm-hmm.
The wonderful thing about dickers.